You are an undefeated fighter, but you're also successful as a model and doing other projects. How do you like to be thought of or described in general?
I like to be thought of as an extremely talented, well-rounded woman who likes to fight.
Well said. And do you have an accomplishment that you're most proud of so far in your MMA career?
An accomplishment I'm so proud of is my debut, because the first time I debuted professionally, the first time I debuted not wearing shin guards, the first time I fought pro ever, I opened a main card for Bellator and I did a first round knockout with a stadium full of fans, and that was the most pressure I've ever had to handle my life on my debut. But that was definitely the biggest accomplishment I've had so far.
Gabriel?
Hey, Valerie.
Hey.
Hi. I was curious, did you see Alejandra Lara on Exatlon, and what did you think of her? And do you agree that she might have made it a little further than both you and George?
Honestly, I didn't really watch her at all, but I do know that during that whole season, they had COVID over there and they were sent home and stuff. So it kind of defeated the whole purpose of the show. So really, she didn't have a real experience like me and George did.
And my second question, I want to ask you about your teammate, the captain at ATT, Kayla Harrison. I know a lot of people talk about maybe fighting your other teammate, Amanda, somewhere else, but how would you feel about her joining Bellator and the party over there at Featherweight?
Kayla honestly is an inspiration to me. She's an Olympic gold medalist. I always wanted to be an Olympian and I never made it there. So looking up to her, you know, she teaches me a lot. And also I had the opportunity to help her for her last camp, and I would kick her and she would throw me on the floor. So just knowing that she taught me the best judo throws and how to defend them makes me feel very prepared for any fight I have coming up. But definitely I would love to see her in Bellator. I think it would be amazing, and I think she's an extremely high level talented fighter, and she's so strong nobody could beat her.
Santiago?
Hi Valerie, greetings from Amsterdam, and thank you for the time.
Hi, thank you.
This fight was supposed to be on May 7th, but it got delayed. Yoel Romero was also supposed to fight on May 7th, but that also fell apart. Were you bummed out that you couldn't share the card with a legend like Yoel?
Yeah, I mean, I was never supposed to fight on Yoel's card from the first place. It was a mistake. I was always told May 21st, and that's what I was prepared for. But I am sad Yoel didn't get to debut. I wanted to see him fight for Bellator already, and I want one day for there to be 2 Cuban champions.
You are still very young in your career, but a lot of people questioned why you are not on the main card, because you naturally draw people to you. Did you expect it to be on the main card as well?
No, I like fighting on the undercard. I like fighting early. I like fighting on YouTube. I like being able to eat after and fly straight home. You know, I know that my performance reaches its audience on its own. I don't need to be on a main card to go viral. My talent and my crazy combinations and kicks will get me the viewers I need, and I'm dominating a whole Latin American market and bringing it to Bellator.
Michael?
Hey, Valerie, greetings from Puerto Rico. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for your time. I wanted to ask, what would a victory on Bellator 259 on Friday would mean to you and to the whole Cuban community?
I mean, this victory would mean a lot to me because my grandfather just passed away at the end of February from COVID, and I want to dedicate this fight to my grandfather and all families who have had loved ones pass away because of the pandemic. I think it's a very strong topic. I didn't know it until it happened to me. So this fight, I have a lot of hurt in my heart, and I'm going to let it go in the cage.
And one last question. As a Latino, you know, food is part of our culture. What are the principal challenges you face in terms of weight cuts and having to, you know, go into a strict diet and everything to make this fight?
Yeah. I mean, I've been cutting weight since, you know, my dad, before I left, he showed me my credential when I was 6 years old, fighting at a Miami Open, cutting weight to 50 pounds at 6 years old. So I've been cutting weight my whole life since I was 6 years old, and there's pros and cons to it. There's Cons, because you develop eating disorders. There's pros, because you know how to do it. We're nutritionists. We get paid to make weight. Definitely being a Latina, I don't have the same body as any other girl. You know, I gain weight very easily. I lose weight very easily. I know my body better than anyone else. But when I sign that contract, I commit to making a weight. And this is my job. I'm a professional. I'm always going to get it done.
Pablo?
Okay, hello, Valerie. This is from the MMA Ecuador. And the first thing I want to ask you is, how do you feel having a good friendship with Marina Moroz and Ariane Lipski? How do you feel training with them?
Oh my God, it's an honor. You know, those girls, especially Ariana Lipski, she is such a sweetheart, so incredible, so talented. She teaches me so much. She learns from me as well. And really the ATT girls we have, it's such a bond, and we are growing together. We're all winning together. And I know I'm 22 years old, I'm a baby, but I'm just so blessed to have those training partners around me to develop my career and be ready for the best of the best.
Darnell?
Hola, Valerie. Darnell from Miami here with MMA Island. How are you?
Hi, from Miami.
So you talked to Luke Thomas the other day, and you spoke about starting an eyelash company and a lot of other different things. Do you think you're setting a new standard for women making money outside of just fighting?
You know, I believe that I was born to cross over beauty and elegance into mixed martial arts in a way that the world has never seen before. Valerie Loureda was born to do that. I'm going to do it. I'm doing it right now. God willing, I'm going to keep winning, because there's no way that somebody beats me with the amount of hard work and passion I put into what I do. I was born for this, and I was born to be an icon for female mixed martial arts.
Jim?
All right. Yeah, Jim Barcelona, Miami Herald. Hey, Valerie.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, where does a victory, where does that take you? Where do you see a victory helping you get to the next step?
Yeah, this victory is one more, hopefully, to get to the top, and, you know, more experience being a young fighter. But definitely this victory is going to be so happy for me, knowing what I've been through before this fight, and also the dedication I have for it.
And what have you learned so far, even going back to your first fight? What have you learned about yourself? What have you learned about just this whole crazy journey, ups and downs?
Number one, I've learned that the intuition I've had in my heart about myself is right. I'm proving myself right. I don't care about anybody else. And apart from that, I've learned that I could go through anything in the world and in my life and still excel in the cage.
Giancarlo?
Hi, Valerie. Hope you're doing well. This is your first fight now since Bellator introduced the rankings, and you see yourself now ranked in the top 10. Just curious, as a fighter, does that put more of an added pressure on you to go out there and perform, knowing that you're ranked inside the top 10 and facing someone who's not ranked?
Honestly, it just shows me that people see the potential in me as a fighter, and also gives me more credibility. But at the same time, I block it out because I am a baby still. I deserve a fair chance of experience and opportunity like every other girl that I'm fighting has had. And I'm just going to do the right steps to make it to that belt and be a champion one day.
Mike, go ahead.
Hi, Valerie. You kind of talked just recently about kind of how you view your career inside and outside the cage as a woman and as a fighter, beauty and elegance mixing with martial arts. How do you feel about where we are in the sport, especially with Bellator in 2021, where you have that platform through your promotion that gets behind you and fully supports and gives you freedom of fighter and woman to do both of those?
Yeah, definitely. I'm very blessed, because if there's one thing about Bellator is that they allow me to brand myself, and that's how I've been able to grow so quickly between that and, you know, my knockouts. But I'm just so blessed and honored to be with this organization that believed in me when I had 3 amateur fights. And I said, you know, I promise you, I'm going to be the best in the world one day. I'm going to be the most recognized, well-rounded female mixed martial artist in the world. And they gave me this opportunity, and I'm proving it to them every day. Every day that I get to be here, I'm grateful. I'm thankful for this opportunity. And I promise you, I'm going to make this promotion proud. And I'm going to make sure everybody in the world knows what Bellator is, especially in Miami.
Mark?
Master Loureda, it's Mark from Taekwondo Life magazine. Good to see you.
Hey, hello.
How are you? You mentioned that you came to Bellator as a relative amateur. Now you've had a number of successful fights under your belt. It's given your opponents a greater opportunity. You're not an unknown. It's given them a greater opportunity to study you, to study the tape, to study perhaps any potential weaknesses. Does that play into your preparation for a fight? And does that do those things adjust as you go, or is that something that you just go with your game plan and let it be as it will?
Honestly, on my fights, I fight differently. If I were to fight myself tomorrow, I wouldn't know how to fight me because every fight I come out differently. I either turn into a boxer, I come back to my muscle memory of Taekwondo. I could turn into a wrestler. I could do anything, you know? So I think that's what makes it challenging for other girls to fight me. And also I have a muscle memory and repetition of Taekwondo since I was a baby that I don't even think about in the cage. It just comes out like naturally. I love what I do. I've been doing this my whole life. And it's just such an honor to be able to represent Taekwondo beyond master.